Welcome to Real Talk, show where we talk about what's going on in the film industry and what interests us. So, Real Talk, Star Wars.
Tell you the truth, I haven't even watched the current trailer.
Yeah, I know you haven't. I have, but
What'd you think about it?
So I have my.
So let me give you some backstory. I haven't watched the most current trailer because I just don't want to be disappointed anymore.
Okay, but you've seen the other trailers.
So yeah, right? And like at first I was like, oh cool, the Emperor's back.
Oh, cool. Ray's doing.
The Emperor's back, and he's got, you know.
Ray's doing back handsprings off of TIE Fighters.
I mean, okay, that was dope. That teaser got me pretty jacked.
Okay.
I mean, because it's J.J. Abrams, and you're
Okay.
like, all right, sweet. But then also, like, just the way that shot was composed, I'm like, heck yeah. If there's something Disney does really well, is get me really excited and then disappoint me thoroughly.
Wow, they do good with Marvel, but the Star Wars is doing. Okay, well that's a different topic.
So I haven't even seen the trailer because I haven't I don't remember which was the last one that I watched. It was when we first heard the Emperor's voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wonder how I pulled that one off.
Well, so we have some theories. I know we've talked about some theories we have about what's going to happen in this film and like where we would love to see it go.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Let's watch the final trailer.
All right, so you want to watch the trailer.
Let's watch the trailer and
then we can go from there.
Okay, Lucasfilm. No way.
Okay, we're on Endor.
Not necessarily.
It's too cool to be Endor. Oh, now we're back on Jakku in the Star Destroyer.
Oh, there's Rose. Oh, my favorite character. Oh. Cool. Why? Why did you do that? What was needed?
Cool shot.
Cool shot, but there's the Emperor.
Yeah.
I mean, some of this stuff does look tight. Like, it looks more promising than Episode 8.
Robot Head had a great commentary about that scene.
I know he did. That's the only part that made me feel anything.
You don't know these people. You just met them. Why isn't Luke and Leia there? They're your friends.
Yeah, right. No, we killed them all off. Don't worry.
Gosh.
I'm going to talk about this. The horses.
horses.
I'm going to put a pin in that because I got stuff to say about that. That's cool. I like that shot. He's got his helmet back on.
All right.
Thank God he's got his helmet back on.
So this trailer,
Hold on.
okay.
Oh.
All right. Is there anything else?
Rise of Skywalker and no.
All right, so here we go. Okay. So this trailer.
Yeah, what are your initial thoughts?
So you and I, I have a theory that I
think we share this theory.
We can share it. I have this theory that Rey is the daughter of Han and Leia.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people argue back on me that that's not possible. But when I go story time with Matt and we dive into it and I take him through the trail of it, it's like, well, doesn't it make more sense that she would be? And if you jump into the story and you say, hey, let's just assume Rey is the daughter of Han and Leia. Let's put that pin in there, and let's say she is the twin of Kylo.
Okay.
Right? Well, why do we assume this? What could make us assume this? Well, Luke and Leia, they were both very Force sensitive. They were the spawn of Anakin, and they were twins. So twins run in the lineage of the Skywalker clan.
Okay.
Okay, so we can say it's feasible and possible
so
that
she would still technically be a Skywalker-ish
So
as Leia's kid.
So up until this trailer,
because everyone thinks she's Luke's kid.
Stupid. I mean, that's just an absolute stupid theory. I mean, that has no thought. So the moment I got cued onto this was episode 7, the very first time when, well, not the very first time. It was when Rey was working on the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
And Han said, they were talking back and forth, and she said, "Are you offering me a job?" And he said, "Well, I'm thinking about it."
Yeah.
He had a glimmer in his eye. He had a hope in his eye. He had an idea in his mind, right? For a complete stranger like Han Solo.
And kind of a dick. I mean, Han Solo is like historically kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he doesn't trust anybody but Chewie.
Right.
And for him to live 2 minutes with this person on the Millennium Falcon, being chased down after trying to kill this or trying to escape this ship where they were going to get eaten by this creature.
Yeah.
He trusts her all of a sudden? This doesn't make any sense, right? Like, the relationship between Luke and Han happened out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I need a ship. I need to get off this planet. And Han's like, all right, cool. Well, for this much money, I'll take you.
So what does Rey being Kylo's sister have to do with it?
So for the simple answer that Luke he was the only one left. He knew he had to restart the order. He tried doing it. He knew that when Kylo and Rey were born, that they were extremely Force sensitive. And he knew that Kylo could bring balance to the Force, that Kylo could help him. So he chose Kylo, and he used Rey as an insurance policy. Similar to Leia. Luke and Leia were split up at birth. One went one way, one went the other. If Vader knew about the both of them, then the dark side would single them out and destroy them, and the dark side would win. But by having both of them, there was an insurance policy in Leia. The good thing is Luke didn't fall to the dark side.
So then, skipping forward to this film,
Sure.
Because I'm totally with you. I think that Rey is the son of Han Solo and Leia also.
Right.
It would be a really big bummer and just kind of a gut punch if Kylo was right, that she's just a nobody.
A nobody. She'd be totally useless.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have any type of attachment to this kind of mysterious character in Rey.
So what you and I have talked about, what I'm hoping for happens in this film, which I know won't.
Right.
But we know that Darth Maul from Solo is alive.
Yeah, he come back.
And then in the first trailer for Star Wars, this new one, we saw Rey wielding the double-sided lightsaber.
Well, and we also saw a flashback of him facing off with Mace Windu and Obi-Wan.
Right, which is important.
Or Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
So we saw this, like, Darth Rey is essentially what everyone's saying.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It would be awesome because if there's one thing Star Wars needs to do, it's give us something we've never seen in a good way.
Sure.
They've done that in bad ways, and that's where I want to talk about the horses. But
gotta have something to compete with the casino scene.
No, I blocked that out of my memory.
Oh, that's there.
So I hope it would be really cool if Rey has been the new Sith Lord all the time. And the insurance policy that they had went askew, and Kylo has to turns to the good side, and they face off, and they have to fight Rey.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch because we've had such a useless character in Rey this whole time. That to give her such power at the end would be way too much.
No.
Plus, it's not Disney for the enemy to win.
I know, but she's only useless in the respect that she has been given all this huge power without necessarily having to work for it a ton.
She's Jar Jar.
Jar Jar is the key to all of this.
He trained her on Jakku.
And Rey,
Jar Jar, Jakku.
Rey has just been
Sith Lord.
Too strong too early. Give her some, cool training sequences. But it's like, so it would be cool if she was the bad guy all along. It would make sense as to why she was that strong this whole time.
So it wouldn't. Let's hone in on what you said just a second ago.
Okay.
Right. Of too powerful too early, right? Like she was just like out of the blue, super strong.
Mostly in episode 8.
Rewind. Well, no, I'm saying in general. Rewind back to episode 8. I've seen this power before, and it didn't terrify me then, but it terrifies me now.
Okay.
Maybe he wasn't talking about Kylo.
I think he was talking about Rey.
Maybe when the two were born, he met her. He knows her.
Yeah.
And why wasn't he surprised?
Yeah.
He's seen her before. He's like, well, here we go. This is happening. She found me.
Yeah.
It's time to make this happen. He tried to hide himself because she couldn't search for answers. He knew that she was going to be longing for answers. Backing up further, one of the big clues in episode 7 that gave me a hint that Rey was the child of Han and Leia was she has this memory, the only memory of the ship leaving her on Jakku. That's it. Why?
Yeah, why? And
if you're an orphan, why do I care that someone just left you in the middle of a desert?
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I don't care.
That's got to come back.
There is value in that shot. And at that moment, when I started going, after I saw episode 7 and I was rebuilding the film in my mind, I was like, wait a minute. Han looks at her longingly. He's offering a complete stranger a job, and he's one of the most wanted bounty hunters in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Bad insurance policy. Rey has this flashback in this memory, and there's an immediate connection between them all. And Rey is devastated when he gets killed. Why? Because he's the first father figure she's ever had.
Yeah.
He's the father
and
figure
the actual father
she wanted. And now let's take this to episode 8 or to episode 9. You, Kylo, are my brother. You killed my father. You are the reason I don't have a family. Now, how is Rey going to control this and be tested?
Okay.
And Luke said she can never find out. And if she finds out, the whole thing is up. Because you'll have two extremely strong force powers that could be wielded by the Emperor. And for the Emperor to say, now you're both coming to me together. Okay, well, now we got some really big square-offs. We have some big moments where this is all percolating to a climax. This makes sense from a story perspective, that we are getting to the climax of this trilogy. It all will end. Now these two are going to have to make a decision. And I think Kylo will see the light. I think Rey and Kylo will come together.
Yeah.
Which
I hope happens, because if Rey's not going to be the bad guy, the thing that they could give us that we haven't given us yet is
Kylo's
somebody
the good guy.
Is that Kylo's a good guy.
Kylo has
Kylo
never been shown in full red. They have lit him split screen blue and red, and they also, after he killed Han, they gave him full red tint.
Right.
But even then, in episode 8, he was still conflicted. A whiny little boy who couldn't figure out his power, and he was struggling. He's on this ship. No one takes him seriously. They think he just has some birthright.
He's almost taking the Luke arc. Kind of.
He's very much taking the Luke arc, and Rey is the Anakin arc that's being hidden from us. That's why she's so useless at this point.
Okay.
That's why nobody wants to connect her to anything, because they don't want people to see the end of the film.
Right.
I think it's beautiful that people don't see that she is the daughter of Han and Leia. Some people have told me, well, that's a cheap way to write it. And I'm like, maybe it is. Maybe that's not how J.J. Abrams and the team have put this together in this episode. But to me, it seems as though this is where it's pointed. And if anything, knowing that Rey has a relationship with her enemy, it's her brother, the thing she wanted most in life, family. And you know that Carrie Fisher is going to die in this. You know, she's going to die early because she's not around for the film. So, sadly. And so her mom's dead, her dad's dead, her brother is the enemy. If you lived
story struggle.
If you lived your life in a gray world, all you wanted was family.
Yeah.
And then you found out it didn't exist anymore, and the Emperor existed to wield his power and might over you, boy, you're going to have one of the hardest tests, trials, and tribulations ever. And that is the point of the hero's journey, to make us feel that enjoyment, to feel that. I mean, that's Lord of the Rings, man. Frodo, you're going to die in Mount Doom. Like, you're not going to throw the ring in. What are you doing? And then he does it, and you're like, oh, yeah.
So that is the better story. I still think it would be cool if Rey turned out to be the Sith Lord, because
But if she does that, it's like we're watching a Marvel movie.
I know it's not the best.
Point.
It's not the best story
because it's not connected.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no connection connecting her to the dark side.
Yeah.
Other than maybe Snoke. Reading her mind and seeing the dark. Well, I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm excited to see them bring him back and be like, oh, by killing him, it actually made him stronger, just like Obi-Wan.
Like a Voldemort thing. he was a Horcrux.
Yeah.
He was an extension of the Emperor.
Or it was like his Force soul was inside this being, and by killing him, it released it.
There's the Darth Plagueis theory. We can talk about that later because that wasn't featured in the trailer.
We don't have 4 hours.
So I'm excited about this. I mean, seeing this trailer, I'm not thoroughly as disappointed as I thought I was going to be. No, because of that line the Emperor gave us.
Okay.
You're coming to me together.
Okay.
Meaning he knows Rey. He knows Kylo, and that's why Luke. And people are like, "How did Leia and Han just forget about their daughter?" Well, because they had to, and that's why they had to separate. Because they knew if they didn't separate, that would destroy them, and that the Emperor would be able to find them, and that the Emperor would be able to use his powers to get out of them. For example,
and the only way to destroy them fully, is for them to come together.
And so this could be good. The Knights of Ren could have a point to this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we saw in that last shot. Maybe that black thing that Rey and Kylo were destroying. They're obliterating
was a Knight of Ren.
Maybe.
Would be sweet.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Are they made of stone?
Maybe. Well, they were supposed to be the acolytes that Luke was training, and they left, right?
Yeah.
But maybe the New Order is in Poe and Finn and Rose and Kylo and so maybe this is where we'll see finally the hope that the galaxy has been waiting for the Jedi to actually step up and stop being passive and stop letting the the Sith dominate, and they're finally putting the Sith back in place with the use of the light force.
As far as our theories go, we believe that Rey is the sister of Kylo.
That's where I'm led to believe.
I 100% agree. I am absolutely in the camp that, like, it would be cool if Rey was actually the Sith in training, but I know she's not. I know that's not going to happen. The reason why I wanted to put a pin in the horses. I'm coming back to the horses.
The horses.
Okay, so here is one thing that I have not liked about the new Star Wars movies.
Could have been like banthas
in general.
Things that were
let me get to it.
Okay.
Here's one thing I haven't liked about the Star Wars, the new ones in general. Because I think they're cool. I loved Episode 7. Episode 8 was probably my least favorite Star Wars of all time.
Definitely. I'll watch Phantom Menace any day.
I feel like in their attempt to make things new in Star Wars, instead of thinking about new arcs to give us, instead they have thought about new stuff. And not even in the Star Wars universe, just like give me like
they're too focused on world building.
They're too focused on giving us stuff in the Star Wars universe world that hasn't ever been in it before. It's like, you could give me a TIE fighter and I'm still excited for a TIE fighter, but
give me variations on TIE
horses
fighters.
In space. That's not the new thing I'm looking for.
Are they on planet Earth?
It looked like they were in space, running on a spaceship. Like.
Yeah, but they also gave us
piece of a
Phasma,
spaceship,
which was like the most useless villain in any Star Wars.
But could have been cool and could have helped Finn's arc. Had do something. But
you got a lot of useless character arcs in this
film. Like Poe and Finn
and Rey or Rose.
At this point, the way that they played Finn in Episode 8 would have been better if he actually did suicide bomb himself to save everybody, because his going to that ship with Rose literally got everyone killed. So that would have been a redeeming moment, right?
Yeah.
But it's just
you're sitting there saying
horses. It's like, oh well, we gotta have something new. So ice dogs on the red planet. What is this, Final Fantasy?
They were cute.
But
they were crystals.
Okay, crystal dogs.
They were
cool.
Salt crystal dogs.
Cool.
They were cute.
I'm just saying, like, can they stop just trying to load up the new stuff of Star Wars with just...
But that's what that trailer was that we just watched.
Yeah.
It was loaded up with exciting visuals.
Yeah.
Right? And they're thinking...
Horses in space.
And my biggest critique and problem with Episode 8 is that they tried too much to get past... or to mask a bad story with interesting visuals. Mm-hmm. And I think they knew it. I think they were like, uh-oh.
Here's like an example of what I thought was like a cool new thing.
Okay.
But still made sense in the Star Wars universe.
The lightsabers are pretty sweet.
The way that they wield lightsabers is awesome. They feel like they have weight.
I don't know what Kylo's fighting like this.
Okay,
but
that's
whatever.
another point.
Okay,
oh my gosh. So Like when the Stormtrooper came out and he had the cool like whooshy
You like that thing?
Yeah, because it made sense to a Stormtrooper. Like it was a cool like electro baton.
I don't know. I don't think it made sense.
I think it made sense.
It's kind of like the scene in Indiana Jones. I got swords and I'm
Yeah,
waving
yeah, and
swords
he
at you,
shot
and
him
then
with
he
the
just
gun.
shoots him with a gun.
Sure.
It's like, well, why wouldn't I just blast you?
But it didn't play out like that. It was more
also,
like.
how can Finn even wield a lightsaber? I know
But he
this
didn't
is
at that point.
This has been beat to death.
I know.
I know, but like,
maybe he's force
come on,
sensitive, I don't know.
right? Maybe he is. I just hope they gallop past a satellite
Oh,
just with a helmet on. It's kind of like like the Jetsons. You know?
yeah. They have astronaut suits on.
Yeah.
So
We have to save the horses. And I hope they spend 45 minutes trying to get these horses off a planet.
yeah,
That's important.
maybe they're the horses from the casino.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Because what happened to those poor
Holy
creatures? I mean, they
moly.
got them out to the forest, and then what?
So with the
then what?
lightsaber stuff that you said, that was the other thing I have a problem with how they've been handling the lightsabers. Is the points at which they have them out seems weird. Like Kylo's turning it around and like putting it behind. Like, is he sheathing it? You don't sheath the
Probably cut you in half.
Yeah, like my thought process, at least what they've showed me, is you just turn the thing off.
Yeah.
You don't like sheath it like an actual sword, or like when in Solo when Darth Maul was on the video chat, like with a hologram chat with somebody, and he
Yeah.
turned on the lightsaber. Why did he do that?
Look what I have, a lightsaber.
Right, like for the audience, like
Yeah, right.
So it's weird lightsaber stuff that they've handled it cool as far as weight and how they look. And I like Kylo's because it looks like he made it himself, and it was like a crappy job.
Sure.
But the weird like putting it behind them and like Rey flipping over a TIE fighter but running the whole time with it out. It's like, it's weird, man.
It's storytelling. I mean, there's a way you would tell a film, and there's a way J.J. Abrams would tell a film. Let J.J. Abrams tell a film how he wants to tell it.
And that's the point I'm getting to, is that like it's the new stuff that has it's seemingly nothing to do with the storytelling of it.
But by that argument, people would say that the lightsaber battles in episodes 1, 2, and 3 were not needed, and I'm like, bullcrap.
They were sweet.
Like, yeah, the lightsaber battles between Darth Vader and Luke were good. They didn't start good.
Yeah.
The first lightsaber duel that anyone ever saw was like, what is going on? Then they got a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then they really got them enhanced to a certain degree where you're like, whoa. And like Ewan McGregor learning how to actually sword fight.
Yeah.
You know, and was it kendo? Is that what that's called? Sword fighting? Is that kendo?
Well, that's like the Japanese art of
Right,
sword fighting.
Right, so he learned kendo and he learned these techniques, and it was really them on set, like, battling.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that was sweet.
Yeah, it was.
And like that made the canon fuller and richer in my opinion. So like the new stuff is good.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to new stuff. I'm just saying the new stuff seems like
the new stuff that doesn't make sense, like the bomber.
Yeah.
Those
it's the new stuff that seems so forced. Like, well, we have to have new stuff.
Yeah, but they had new stuff in Rogue One, and it was dope.
Because Rogue One was dope.
Right. And it wasn't about the new stuff.
And it wasn't about the new stuff.
And that's always an indication of having a story problem.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, I think they knew that in episode 8 they had a story problem.
Well, I don't think Rian Johnson truly believed he had any story problems.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
That's a different conversation. He's the little brother who took over his older brother's D&D campaign and said, all this stuff that you've set up, no, shook it all off the table and said, now it's my game. You're dead, and you're dead, and
Oh, God.
and you're gonna go to a casino planet.
On that no.
On that note, thanks for joining us for Real Talk, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments section. We'd love to know your thoughts on the movie. Obviously, we're both excited to see it, see the end of the whole franchise. You know, it's been a long time coming. It's a big part of our childhood. So we're stoked. Let us know what you think. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you on the next one.
Do it again and just leave it at the